Okay, shall I start talking? So my name's Henry Brighton, and I work here at the Centre for Adaptive Behaviour and Cognition at the Max Planck Institute for Human Development. When I was a teenager, I suppose, I got interested in computers. My interest grew in what were the limits of what we can do with computers. How clever can they be? The reason why I do what I do here is I'm interested in understanding organisms, including humans and other animals, as computational devices. Okay, so are we simply machines? And if we are, what kind of machine are we? And if we're not, why not? Let's consider some of the most important decisions you have to make, like who do you marry? Or how do you invest your money? If you want to assign utilities and probabilities and understand all the potential actions you can make and their consequences, it's extremely difficult. You look at how simple heuristics can help organisms, from an ant to maybe a financial institution, and also humans in their everyday lives, deal with uncertainty in the natural world. My interest is in developing AI, but in my view, it's such a far-off objective that what we need now are good theories about how can we possibly build machines which can deal with everyday uncertainty. There are two ways that you can forge an academic career. One is to take a fairly safe path and focus on established questions and maybe established models and keep chipping away. Where there's another more risky path you can take, which is to say, well, hang on, what is the question and how good are our theories? And to actually ultimately try and stick your neck out and say, here's an improved way of looking at this. Or academia is, you do have to deal with the politics of, I mean, there are different groups of people allied to different journals, for example, but by and large, I have a great deal of faith in the system. You know, if you do good work, it will eventually get published and it will eventually be recognized. One of the great things about working here is that the system revolves around having different research groups. This is kind of a different model to what you often find in the university. The people I work with, we ally ourselves to a particular question which cuts across discipline. So, for example, one of the projects we're looking at now is, and we're collaborating with others on, is looking at how the rankings supplied by search engines when you type in a term, how they can manipulate us. If it's something that appears on the first page rather than the fifth position, you're more likely to trust it. And people, you know, experiments have been done which show that this is a surprisingly strong effect. I mean, any serious scientist, I think, has to consider the relationship of their work to the real world. I mean, it's very easy to focus on the abstract and be separated from everyday occurrences or everyday experiences, for example, especially for cognitive scientists. Because as soon as you start analysing these everyday situations, then it's impossible for me not to use the ways of thinking from the academic questions I ask. There are times when you find something out, you figured out an implication of a theory, or you developed a new aspect of a theory, for example. It's a charge of energy, and because you know that you figured something out, and you may have been working on this for months or even years, and you figured it out, and you know no one else has ever done that before. You know you're the only person, I mean, it sounds grandiose, but the only person in human history to actually have got that